President of Serbia and Yugoslavia elections. Family. Slobodan Miloevi was a Yugoslav and Serbian politician who served as the President of Serbia from 1989 to 1992 and within the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia from 1992 to 1997, and President of the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia from 1997 to 2000. He led the Socialist Party of Serbia from its foundation in 1990 and rose to power as Serbian president during efforts to reform the 1974 Constitution of Yugoslavia in response to alleged marginalization of Serbia, views that Serbia's autonomous provinces had too much power, making them almost independent from Serbia, and claims of political incapacity to deter Albanian separatist unrest in Serbia's autonomous province of Kosovo. Milosevic's presidency of Serbia and the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia was marked by several major reforms to Serbia's constitution from the 1980s to the 1990s that reduced the powers of Serbia's autonomous provinces. In 1990, Serbia transitioned from a Titoist one-party system to a multi-party system and attempted reforms to the 1974 Yugoslav constitution. The constituent republics of the country split apart amid the outbreak of wars, and the former Yugoslav republics of Serbia and Montenegro founded the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. Milosevic negotiated the Dayton Agreement on behalf of the Bosnian Serbs, which ended the Bosnian War in 1995. During the NATO bombing of Yugoslavia in 1999, Milosevic was charged by the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia with war crimes in connection with the Bosnian War, the Croatian War of Independence, and the Kosovo War. He became the first sitting head of state to be charged with war crimes. During the 1990s, numerous anti-government and anti-war protests took place. It is estimated that between 50,000 and 200,000 people deserted the Milosevic-controlled Yugoslav People's Army, while between 100,000 and 150,000 people emigrated from Serbia, refusing to participate in the wars. Milosevic resigned from the Yugoslav presidency amid demonstrations after the disputed presidential election of the 24th of September 2000, and was arrested by Yugoslav federal authorities on the 31st of March 2001 on suspicion of corruption, abuse of power, and embezzlement. The initial investigation into Milosevic faltered due to lack of evidence, prompting Serbian Prime Minister Zoran Đinđić to extradite him to the ICTY to stand trial for war crimes instead. At the outset of the trial, Milosevic denounced the tribunal as illegal because it had not been established with the consent of the United Nations General Assembly. Therefore, he refused to appoint counsel for his defense. Milosevic conducted his own defense in the 5-year trial, which ended without a verdict when he died in his prison cell in The Hague on the 11th of March 2006. Milosevic suffered from heart ailments and hypertension, and died of a heart attack. The tribunal denied any responsibility for Milosevic's death and said that he had refused to take prescribed medicines and medicated himself instead. After Milosevic's death, the International Court of Justice concluded separately in the Bosnian genocide case that there was no evidence linking him to genocide committed by Bosnian Serb forces during the Bosnian War. However, the court did find that Milosevic and others in Serbia had violated the Genocide Convention by failing to prevent the genocide from occurring, by not cooperating with the ICTY in punishing its perpetrators, in particular General Ratko Mladic, and by violating its obligation to comply with the provisional measures the court ordered. Milosevic's rule has been described as authoritarian or autocratic, as well as kleptocratic, with numerous accusations of electoral fraud, political assassinations, suppression of press freedom and police brutality. Milosevic had ancestral roots from the Lijiva Rijeka village in Podgorica and was of the Vasajevići clan from Montenegro. He was born in Požarevac, 4 months after the Axis invasion of the Kingdom of Yugoslavia, and raised during the Axis occupation of World War II. He had an older brother Borislav who would later become a diplomat. His parents separated in the aftermath of the war. His father, the Serbian Orthodox theologian Svetozar Milosevic, committed suicide in 1962. Svetozar's father Simeon was an officer in the Montenegrin army. Milosevic's mother Stanislava, a school teacher and also an active member of the Communist Party, committed suicide in 1972. Her brother Milisav Koljanzak was a major general in the Yugoslav People's Army who committed suicide in 1963. Milosevic went on to study law at the University of Belgrade's law school, where he became the head of the ideology committee of the Yugoslav Communist Leagues. This was to prove a crucial connection for Milosevic's career prospects, as Stambolic sponsored his rise through the SKJ hierarchy. After his graduation in 1966, Milosevic became an economic advisor to the mayor of Belgrade B.